Welcome to the Put on Waivers Media Group, home of the Put on Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
And welcome everybody to the glorious episode of the Student Body Right USC podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas. I am podcasting on the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSP is my Twitter handle. I will be the last week of events on Twitter, including Kanye. Might be leaving soon to go to Blue Sky. So he got to hold up and watch me go there. But we have Preston. We have my buddy Preston on here, Preston's Paradise. You also will catch him on the Voice of College Football, USC, talking USC football here with him, and a lot of events happened recently with USC. Pretty much all good ones so far. So it's not like doom and gloom like we're used to. But this is like, we know that they ever since Carroll left, there's been like a 10-year mark where they really have struggled to build it back up. And I think now with the ever-changing landscape of college football, and my girl, Jen Cohen, who I thought was, some people were just like not, she a queen, not who weren't really happy with her. Said all these different things, but I said that I thought she'd be great, and from everybody from Washington told me correctly that she was going to be great, and she has been great so far with the coaching staff, and now with the whole GM hire.
Yeah. I'm just, my biggest fear was the fact of administration not caring about football. With everything that was going on, the inability to keep people in the program, the transfers out, and it was just silence. And there was nobody to really blame or look to or ask questions to. It was just Lincoln taking questions. People, the rumors swirling around like, oh, it's hard to work with this guy. It's hard to work with Lincoln. Lincoln has too much on his plate. Like, I was just over it. And now, hearing all these people talk, seeing the direction that they want to go in with the program, the type of steps that they're going to make to ensure that, USC is back on top. I couldn't be more happy. I feel extremely confident. And I'm just ready to play some football and see what we could do in the spring portal and see what we're going to do next year.
And it's also a good thing to see, like when you go to Reddit, when you go to all these different spots, when you go to the message boards for other teams, you see how much they miss the guys who we're getting. I mean, you got GMs coming for lower roles just to come be a part of USC. Yeah. That stuff is amazing.
Yeah, and Notre Dame people.
Sorry.
And the Notre Dame people are acting like Chad Bowden was not a big deal. A lot of people, we got the guy from Texas Tech. The guy from Texas Tech didn't even he declined the offer. You know what I'm saying? He said he's not trying to go over there.
He left Notre Dame. He left Notre Dame on red.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Left Notre Dame on red. And it's fantastic. People can deny whatever they want, man. I'm just happy that now. We really got people in there that know what they're doing, man. And Lincoln can sit back and coach and develop these guys, man, and really just be a football coach. I think that's the most important part about it.
It's obviously for Lincoln Riley, this is it. So we can't sugarcoat it anymore. Like, as far as that goes, we can't make it more. Every year he's done something. It's been like a year too late. But at the very least, if those things didn't happen, we wouldn't be in the position we're in right now. So, I think with the strength of that 2026 class, we're out here in California. Everybody wants a piece of that class because that class is going to be amazing. So, these guys have come. These guys, these men and women who have come to help USC recruit are coming in really at the right time for the program, because this thing could really explode. And him just talking about Chad Bowen talking about we're going to major in high school recruiting and minor in the portal. I think that makes sense, and I'm excited for that part of it as well. So, what are your thoughts about his approach, saying that and then him trying to get things going out here in California for USC?
Yeah, I love it because, like, even when he went up there and spoke, I mean, I said the same thing a couple of nights ago. Like, when he was up there on that podium, I'm watching the press conference and I was ready. I was sitting here right here on my notes and I was recording stuff. And the stuff he was saying, I was like, I feel like I'm taking the job. Everything that was coming out of his mouth were things that I would say if I was stepping up there taking the GM job. Want to major in in-state recruiting. We got the best high school football players in the country. Um, he's just saying all the right things. And he also said that he's going to be ahead of the curve, man. Whatever more changes happen, in terms of transfer portals or eligibility or NIL, like they're going to constantly be at the forefront of those things happening. They're not going to sit back and wait, shivering, oh, I don't know what to do. Should we do this? We're kind of worried about doing that. We're scared about doing that. We're going to be in front and we're going to be trailblazing in the space. And I just think it's a refreshing, new look on things. He's a young guy. Man, everybody's got great energy. I think we're blessed to have him. I really, really think things are about to take off. And I feel like we're all aligned. And he's also not a guy, you heard these rumors about, oh, I don't know if this stuff is true. I have people on the inside telling me stuff. There's rumors that go and swirl all about, but there was a lot of information about Dave Emmerich, being in the power position, and he didn't want to, have negotiations with other guys, and he didn't want certain different people's opinions. And then you heard rumors about him and Lincoln, kind of taking all that stuff on. Chad Bowden stood up there and said he wants to collaborate. He's built his team so that if whatever issue comes up, whatever, situation or relationship comes up, he's got somebody they could dump stuff off to. He can handle it. He could fly somebody out here to, make a negotiation, make a deal, ask for an opinion. And I think that's what you got to have if you really want to dominate, in recruiting or in college football.
I mean, they got an assistant aide of recruiting operations. They have executive director of scouting personnel. They have an executive NFL liaison.
Titles on titles.
Titles on titles. And you know what I'm saying? So like that's the thing where, if you're SC, that this is the way like they don't really post. It's not like when you go to NFL teams website, they post general manager, VP of this. They don't really do that with college football. I don't think you see that in the future. Some of these titles, but he is structuring that pyramid where like probably he's at the top and everybody else is below him can really report to him and like see where they are at constant and real time with every recruit, with every part of the country, all those things like that. So I mean that's something where you have to be. This is the first time that USC has been. You mentioned being like in the front of the curve in the space.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting paid $1 million. I mean, like that's going to be something that in the space, like if you're hit at his level, they're going to want $1,001,000. So things like that. So like I feel like they're going in the right direction for the first time in a long time. But on the field is really where we got dictated. So to me, it's like with Lincoln, it's a situation where he could either like a big sigh of relief, or maybe the pressure will get so big that they might go the other way. But this is the time for him to really take the bull by the horns and just instead of those close losses, turn those into victories and bring USC back where it needs to go.
Exactly. You brought it up. Like how hot is the seat now, right? You're sitting in a position. You got all these hires. You're telling the public that basically, I hired this guy. We hired this guy to take on all this responsibility and all these other things. All I got to worry about is calling plays, calling pass plays, calling run plays, and developing these guys. So you took a lot off your plate now. So people are gonna be on you. You're gonna be watching hard. You know what I'm saying, and seeing what you do. I think they could get it done. I think that, the schedule sets up pretty well. You're gonna have some tough games, but do
you get it? I know you're on the East Coast. Did you get a chance to come out here for games, or you get a chance to go out to?
Yeah, it's been a couple years. So I haven't been to LA in a couple years, but I've been going out to away games. I went to Notre Dame 2 years ago. I was in Michigan. I was in Washington last year. I'm gonna be out next year for Michigan in the Coliseum. And I might get out for the first game of the season or maybe even spring. Kind of just depends how things go. But yeah, man, next year's got to be the year. I think we got to win 10 games to keep everybody happy. I don't know if he's out of here if we don't win 10.
I mean, if he wins, if he wins 9, I think there's. But my thing is just like they just like 9-3. It's just like they gotta just get to the playoffs, man. Like that. I mean that. Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. Give me whatever it takes. I'm not even asking. I'm not asking to win the Big Ten next year. I'm not. Yeah. I'm just saying like it seems like you get a little bit of an advantage when you don't win the conference. You don't have a bye week because you get a home play. Can I get a home playoff game in the Coliseum? Yeah. Like I mean, college football is dying for that, and I know that place would be rocking. I mean, LA is pretty much sports wise the only missing piece. Seems like it is USC because you have the Dodgers, who I can't say I'm a Giants fan, but but you have them. Luka just came to the Lakers. Like, I mean, things are coming, back to where LA, and you mentioned he did mention that tagline, the place to be, over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. So he knows what it is here, and I know that line really for Notre Dame really dug at him where he said it meant more to come here to SC, and his wife talking.
That hit me, man. That hit me. That was exactly what I wanted to hear. It meant more to me. And he talked about it. He grew up watching SC just like I did, and love all these guys behind me. And like, it's a beautiful thing, man. I feel like the way they're setting up the roster, I feel like, having that experience, being in the Big Ten last year, going through that travel schedule, understanding how the officiating works, understanding how the play style is, limited number of possessions, what it really takes, to win in and win out in that conference.
They don't call holding they don't call holding in the trenches.
That's what I'm saying. They're not going to hold you, run the ball 46 times, zero holding calls. Maybe if you're in Ann Arbor. But hopefully we get some love out of LA or wherever we're at. But yeah, man, like these lessons got to be learned because I learned them as a fan watching his team. Last year, these lessons got to be learned, man. He has a lot of experience around him, NFL guys around him. Rob Ryan talked about how much he's respected in the football world and stuff like that. How much he believes in him. So hey, man, you got a wealth of information around you and experience. So. Let's see some improvement because there's been the last couple of years we've been, hasn't been good.
Been teetering. So like no question about it. And they need to like I think I will. I mean, it starts with the Purdue game for me. Like honestly, like I want to see them win a road game they're favored in this conference first. Like you know what I mean. So I think that's all baby steps. They winning
on the road in general, man. That is something that has to be fixed next season.
Yeah, they can't.
The travel schedule needs to be dialed in. If you're gonna get there early every away game. Don't do it one time and then we're going over here, so we're gonna get here too. No, like have a schedule, man. Be consistent and really dial in and look at it like a science, man. Like that's gotta happen.
Yeah, I mean it is interesting because a lot of these teams. They did get there. I mean, some like when Penn State played us, they got here like up there Wednesday, Thursday. So like, I mean, but we were notoriously getting to those stadiums late. I don't know what that meant. I don't know if that really that's the size. Everybody does it differently, so I can't kill them on both. Jaden Ramos, a defensive lineman, just signed recently, and then also we had AJ Tuiteli, the Tuiteli linebacker out of Las Vegas. What are your thoughts about those guys? I mean, obviously the linebacking room, and I know that he wants to hit the portal as last resort, but I think that this spring portal, which would be the last one, like he needs to kind of hit it. Because depth the depth could be an issue for the Trojans coming up this year.
For sure. Ramos and Tuiteli. Ramos, crazy, great on film, all across the defensive line. Seems very versatile. To me personally, I feel like he's just a guy that you could stick all across that line. You may be able to back him up a little bit. He doesn't necessarily have to have his hand in the ground to be successful, but natural pass rusher. And Tuiteli, man, linebacker out in Las Vegas. Looks great on film. That has great feet and speed, great open field tackler as well. And the linebackers is something that we got to get right. Dealt with injuries. Had some guys transfer out like a Rajon Davis. We hope that Eric Gentry could be healthy. This upcoming season, but it's a position that we've been light on, man. This recruiting cycle, and even last year, having guys transfer out like Tackett Curtis. But with the guys that we have in, I think they could play ball, and I'm excited to see what we could do. But it would be a blessing to see somebody with a lot of experience hop in there in the portal this next opening. But like I said, man, with the guys we got in the front office right now, I know they just got here, but I'm very confident that if there's a big fish out there come around in the spring portal, that we're gonna be in play for them. But whatever big fish is out there, I think we're gonna be able to negotiate and get a shot at bringing them to USC. So
yeah, and if the NIL budget at Notre Dame was like around 6 or 7 million, and ours now is 20 to 22 million, like I mean, you got to figure that he can get that done. I mean, I think Chad should be able to get that done. No worries as far as that goes. Out here, in Los Angeles. Any other of all the people who spoke? Any other guys any guys still stood out to you as far as besides Chad? Because I mean, Chad was really talking to the team, also talking to the fans as well. Like he's a great salesman, no question about it.
Yeah, I really like I'm high on Chad Savage. He was the wide receivers inside wide receivers tight end coach, was the wide receiver coach at Colorado State. He's had Southern California recruiting. That's kind of been his area, his territory for the past few years when he was working in those lower division schools. And he stepped up there on the podium and he kind of just talked about like, it's not all about these Trinity League, programs like a Modern Day or a Bosco or whatnot. It's about these schools in the inner city, man, like a Compton, like a Narbonne, like, any type of school that may not be, critically or nationally acclaimed, but he's going to make relationships and keep relationships with those high school coaches, constantly go by there. And if there's players at any school in the state, no matter where you are, no matter how much light you got on, he's going to evaluate those guys, and those guys are going to be Trojans as well. So I love the energy that Chad Savage brings. Also like Trevon Reed, who's going to be the defensive backs coach. We did end up losing Taylor Mays, which was tough. But he's going to be a new defensive back coach. He's another NFL guy, won a national championship, played in the league. And just a guy, that knows, what it takes. And he sounds just motivational in terms of how he's going to break down these guys, build them back up, and really make sure that room is all right and ready to go come season. So I'm excited about those guys a lot. I'm very excited about those guys. Yeah,
and then even they got they got Appalachian State's AJ Howard. It seems like every time you read up on somebody who USC has gotten, they are up and coming rising stars in their part of college football. So that's always something that's really, really impressive to see. Of course, they won't go as far as the quarterback goes, right? So what are your thoughts about Maeva? What are your thoughts about Longstreet? Obviously, if Longstreet was a sophomore, this would be no conversation. Yeah. But do you want to throw? I mean, Arizona made the playoff with a true freshman. Do you really want to do that? I mean, this spring game, which I can't wait to go to, is going to be so intriguing because everybody's going to be on every single from the footwork to the release to everything that these two young men do. People are going to be on it because they know that's pretty much the key to USC success.
Yeah. Hey, this is how I move, man. I love Jaden Maeva. I love Husan Longstreet. Everybody was freaking out. I did the video. He was out there in the Polynesian Bowl, throwing the ball 78 yards.
Yeah.
When's the last time though that a true freshman won 10 games? You know what I'm saying? It's a rare thing. It's a hard thing to do. This is a very important season. And me personally, I believe in you want to bring a guy in there that has those relationships, has the experience. I think it's Jaden's job to lose right now. I believe Jaden Maava can win this USC 10 games next year right now. I believe Jaden Maava's putting in work. He's learning. He's becoming a better quarterback as I speak right now. I think we're going to see an improvement once that spring game comes along and early season comes along. I have faith in Jaden Maava. I think he has a lot of tools, man. Just has to, truly learn to become a complete quarterback and get that intermediate game down right. I think the bowl game performance really got a lot of people in this fan base low on Jaden Maava. And I think if he wouldn't have had, all those interceptions in that game, that the perception of him would have been a little bit different. But I understand at the end of the day, he did win the game. He did win the game, and I believe in sweat equity and the work he's putting in with these guys and the continuity he's putting in with these receivers like a Jacoby and Mekhi and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like Jaden to do his thing. It would be a blessing, if Hussan could get in there at the end of late games, get a little bit of experience as the season goes on. In case anything does happen, we also have Heward. I think Blake Heward, I believe is his name. Backing up, came over from Washington. So we got a guy in there with a little bit of experience, before Hussan. So if anything happens to Jaden or whatever, he could step in and make something happen. But I already know, man, it's going to be drama. If things are shaky, there's going to be drama. But I side with the guy who was there first. I side with the guy who's produced. Yeah. And I think he's going to be able to get it done.
Yeah, and also everybody loves the backup quarterback. Anyway, yeah. so it happens a whole lot.
But the thing is, like, I laugh, man, because people are on me. I was defending Miller Moss. I gave Miller Moss 9 games. And I said, I believe in Miller Moss until Lincoln Riley doesn't believe in Miller Moss. I was at the Washington game. I saw what went down. After that game, I was like, Miller, I love you, but can't do it anymore. Jaden comes in.
100%.
All the people that were barking about Jaden, I was like, all right, now Jaden's in here. He's not going to be perfect. Jaden made a couple mistakes. I was like, oh, I'm tired of Jaden. So that's just how the fan base is. That's how fans are. But I think he's gonna improve, and whoever's in there, I'll support to the fullest.
Yeah.
But you just got to win games, man. And then
I think to me, I think the biggest thing when you have these situations is it's really important to play both.
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer in playing both guys. Like even like
Do
even
you think you see a package situation with
I've always
or something like that?
I think that Jaden would have hit the ball. I think Jaden could have hit the ground running if they did do that. Yeah. I mean, like, and there's nothing wrong with that because I mean that the playing both is really important. Like Penn State was playing 2 quarterbacks. Like all the
a lot of teams
play 2 quarterbacks. I mean, and I'm not asking just a package, a couple of plays here and there. Let he's a highly touted 5-star. Let him feel what college football is about a little bit before he takes the reins himself full on. I think also too was just I think I wasn't as big on Miller Moss as you were, but like to me, I just wanted to. I mean, I think he wasn't done any favors by not running the ball more. Yeah. The Lincoln has a dynamic running game. Like everybody has averaging like 6 yards a carry. It's like, bro, like sometimes
that's where I'm gonna be mad at Lincoln next year. If you put Jaden in that position where we're throwing the ball, whoever's in there, whether it's Hussan, whether it's Jaden, if you're throwing the ball 50 times, it's hard to do, man. Yeah, throwing the ball 50 times, you're gonna
on the road, especially on the road games. The road games, I was like, dude, why are we throwing the ball, dude? Like, we actually like if he had an offense that could not run the football, I would be like, I get it. But like when you look at the averages of Joyner, look at the averages per game of Woody Marks. Yeah, I mean, like it's like, bro, run the football, cousin. So that's why it used to drive me crazy. And I do think also if there is a chance. He won't do it again. Mm-hmm. But if there's a chance that he can upgrade Jaden in the portal, he's gonna do it because part of him was like Will Howard was coming here.
Yeah,
Will Howard was not. I mean, the emotion of Miller Moss and the game. I was on the sideline at the 6 touchdown game in San Diego. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Like, I understand like that how good that felt.
Like, we got another one. We got another one.
But the big picture was Will Howard's a better player. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. And he would have fit perfectly in this. So I mean, he got Will Howard got Chip Kelly, the OC at my team, the Raiders.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so like, you know, so like, I mean, running the football and playing both guys is really, really, I really think that's important, man. The first 2 games, it should happen because they should destroy the first 2 opponents. But yeah, but
you're giving somebody something else to game plan about, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this offensive genius, bro.
Yes.
You gotta throw as much things on film for people to worry about, so that, you know, they don't know what's coming, bro. Like, you don't know who's in there. This guy, every time they bring this guy in, he does a couple things. Like, make them work and really game plan week in and week out for this offense.
Yeah, no question about it. All right. Yeah, you hear some really great stuff. He is Preston, and you can find him on Twitter at Fight On Preston. And then also you can see him on US on his own YouTube channel, and then you can also see him on with Tim and everybody, the whole crew, Paulie and everybody on the Voice of College Football USC. So hey, listen, thanks for giving some time on this Saturday. And you know, and then I would do the Super Bowl thing, but I think this show will probably air after the Super Bowl. So so go Eagles. You got an NFL team?
I got no. Well, I'm a Dolphins fan, so it's in the first.
Okay. So you got Tua. So you got Tua. So
hey, man, appreciate you, man.
No problem. Take care. Enjoy your Saturday. Thank you for coming on.
All right, man. Have a good one. Thanks.
Yeah. Take care. Fight on.
Fight on.